out today and did not send a report. Okay, next order of business would be, and I put this on the list to discuss with the magistrates, and I moved it down to the bottom, but it looks like it's going to have a little bit more time consumed. That's the reason I moved it to the bottom before we go into closed session. The American Rescue Plan Act provides for what they call premium pay for essential workers. Now, the essential workers can be described in a lot of different ways. I'm proposing to take the county employees and using 3.7% of our total allocation of the 10.7 to provide the county employees with $1 per hour pay for the last year, actually from March 2020 to March 21. And that initial cost would cost the county on the base rate $301,346, thereabouts, take $1 or $2. And then we put your benefits on top of that. It makes a total of about $406. And I don't think there's any better way we could spend a portion of that money. I have provided to the court a general outline of you guys received this probably a few weeks ago. It's probably by email. You may not have printed it out. But in that, I have included premium pay for the county employees. And it has to be done according to Rich Ornstein by ordinance. And I'm going to open it up for discussions. I know you guys have heard this. Some of you like it, some of you don't like it. I can tell by body language a lot of times.
You said 406. I think you proposed 440, wasn't it?
Well, that was just an estimate.
The 440 was, or the 406?
406 is exact.
Exactly.
But now it may change when we got a few other employees, like county attorney has a few employees that works for the county. We got your employees in there. We got yours, Raymond's got all of yours, including your office staff.
EMS.
Okay,
EMS,
I have another question. The deputies under the sheriff's payroll, are they considered county employees
We've
also?
included those. We do their payroll.
So you can include them?
Yep.
Other than the ones by fiscal court, is that correct?
Yep.
Does this include the salary employees?
Salary employees, yes.
You?
No, not elected officials. No elected officials.
Well, me was next. So.
Sorry.
I've seen in your email, you saying that the proposed amount it just amounts to 3.7%. Is that correct?
Of the total 10.7 allocated to the Nelson County. And I refigured it a couple times, and I sent it over to Rhonda, and she refigured it. It didn't look right to me. It looked like it was a little more than that, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
When you looked at the big picture.
I never got an answer to my question about is this eligible for all essential workers or just county workers?
When I sent you a copy of, or Carol sent you a copy of a revised ordinance that said county government workers.
Well, that was not the question.
It is not our money, but the governor last night has proposed $400 million to do the same for essential workers like hospital workers and doctors' offices, grocery store clerks, and so forth.
Is he doing it for his workers?
I don't know.
And county workers?
All the state workers?
I don't know that. I don't know what
Well,
it's.
why are we doing this? Why do you feel like this needs to be done?
Well, we have a workforce that
And so does Heaven Hill, Fuji Seal, and
I just felt like that our employees have done a great job during the pandemic. They've done, I mean, we were open, the jail, the sheriff, the ambulance. We didn't work from any home. We were all in here working.
So was Kroger's, so was Medical.
And they got an incentive pays.
Not a government check from us.
Yeah, not taxpayer pay.
Well, you know,
Go ahead, Eric. Yeah.
you know, I fought with this in my mind when this first was proposed, and I thought.
We talked about it 4 or 5 months ago.
I was the same way. I thought, you know, the first thing you're going to get is backlash about, you know, like you said, these other different organizations. And, you know, a lot of things I heard during the pandemic that people were saying was, people are getting paid to stay home. Now, I have to work, and nobody's paying me to work. And
Who got paid to stay home? Who do you know?
well, most people got that
Stimulus checks.
Exactly, man. They had stimulus checks to stay home, to keep everybody, when the pandemic first kicked off. The only people that didn't was emergency services, essential services, like grocery stores. Everything else was shut down.
Heaven Hill, they were.
And, well, they had to if they were considered essential services. Now, they probably also got a big stimulus check. And if they don't give it to their employees or benefit them for it, then that's on them, really. So in my mind, I'm thinking, this is what part of that money was supposed to be for, you know? It's 3.7% of the total amount of the Rescue Act money.
I don't disagree with that, but I think part of it was for essential workers, not just county essential workers.
Jeff, everybody became an essential worker when we did not choose to take workman's comp or go and take the unemployment line.
You couldn't
Like
put
a lot of
workman's
people,
comp.
Okay? We were asked to continue to work every day, and we did. We were going into the unknown of a pandemic, of a virus that some guys and some people got it and got it bad.
I understand.
So-
I'm not diminishing the contribution that you all made to it,
But it goes
community
to,
as
it goes
well.
to, I guess my question to you would be, is it just first responders? Because it's not. Everybody else worked their butts off.
Okay.
Wow.
I agree.
Well,
So
hey,
that-
Raymond,
that would be my
why
question.
don't you let them discuss, then we'll call for the
Yes, sir.
department heads and make, please, just try to keep it.
Well, I'd like to make a statement. First of all, I would like to make it very clear that all the fiscal court employees have done an excellent job, and I want to thank you. And I've discussed with the judge several different equations on what I thought might be fair of doing something. I just have a hard time giving taxpayers money away when no other employer is doing it.
They got the money, Keith.
How do you know they got the money?
There's a list of people that got money. There's a list of businesses. and
Well, I haven't seen it. I need to
You
get
haven't seen it?
educated.
I'll get it to you.
I need to get
Yeah,
educated.
you'll be shocked.
You'll be shocked. How
And
You'll be
many-
shocked at how
another
much
thing
money stimulus
about
money
this,
people
You'll be
got.
shocked to the.
And if they don't share it with their employees, that's shame on them to me.
Well, another thing about this is federal money, and you said Rich Ornstein gave you an opinion. I do not have nothing in black and white that says this is legal. All the conferences we went to, it all said, you know, we always was up there for bridges and more blacktop money and everything else. Hey, what all can we spend this money on? What's legal? The only three things they ever told us was broadband, water, and sewer. It was never mentioned essential.
I sent you a copy of that, Keith.
I remember Rich talking about that.
I sent you a copy of the permissible, from Rich Ornstein.
I seen where you sent me the email.
Email
where
that
you
Rich
got
sent me.
Rich's opinion, but Rich is Frankfurt, and this is Washington's money. My great grandkids' money is the way I look at
And
it.
it's every county employee's money as well.
How many counties in the state of Kentucky has done this?
I don't know.
Marion County's one of them.
Boulder County's getting ready to do it.
Marion County's got about
Breckenridge
50
County is doing it.
employees.
It's coming across the.
If the state is doing this, are we gonna give the county workers our part and the state will kick in their part also, so it'll be two times?
Well, you're asking me things I really can't answer.
I
I'm
just,
Well, I
taking
mean,
care,
that's
I'm
something
looking
you-
at what the money we received and how to best allocate it. And I think allocating this, a portion of that money to our employees is important. You know, morale all over the nation right now is not good in the workplace. There are people walking away from jobs. To have trained, qualified people in the positions that we have, and I really believe we have good departments and teams. Now, we may have our disagreements, but I really believe, and you start letting some of those seasoned people walk away, and it's just a thank you more than anything. And it's their money too. It's my money. All our money. It's not, the government is the people.
That's true.
It's every taxpayer that would be getting one of these things, every county employee that's be getting one of these is a taxpayer just like all of us.
And really, human infrastructure is part of the cog that makes this government work. And if you're gonna say thank you, that's one thing, but putting words into action, to me, is totally different when you're working behind that garbage truck, when you're policing. when you, whatever you're doing. It's easy to pat them on the back, say you're doing a heck of a job, but nothing says more than we're committed to you just as well as we are
What's
to.
easy is giving money that, you know, giving money that we don't have to account for. If you really want to thank them, take some of your blacktop money and give it to them. You know, take
Well,
that out of our
that's-
general fund and stuff.
Right, but this money was dedicated for that, right?
When was it dedicated for?
It was dedicated for that. It was
You went to
dedicated.
them
for
same
that.
conferences we went to.
They talked
mentioned
about premium pay in that last meeting at the conference. Rich Ornstein's meeting, that last meeting, me and Gary was in there, they talked about the premium pay. And at that time, I was thinking what might be a good incentive to do, instead of like adding $1 on there, is give them incentive to go get vaccinated, give them a certain amount of money, like some other places.
But
have done.
if you remember, Rich also said, be very careful how you do
Yeah.
this.
How you word it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
how you word it, because it could be worded differently.
Keith asked me the counties, and let me give you the list that I've found so far, that have given the money, and are going to give the money. Boyd
It
County,
really don't matter. And we're Nelson County, and I really don't care what
well,
county.
we are, to me, we are stewards of this federal money. And the accountability is that whatever decision we make, we have to stand behind it. And so I do feel some accountability on this money.
Was there any way we can table this until I get some further educated on it and some more black and white print instead of an opinion from Rich Ornstein, which he is Frankfurt, he's not federal dollars? And that's what you're asking us to give away is $500,000
Well,
worth of
you're making up
federal
excuses
money.
for something that you don't want to do.
Well, I'm not
It's a
educated
delay
on it.
tactic.
You may be educated on it, because like you said, you've
I've
talked on
sent you
it.
everything that I've received, just about.
I have never received nothing in
Can we
black and
ask our
white.
county attorney opinion? Would you like to give an opinion on legality of this?
Yeah, I think what the judge is referring to is there was guidance issued from, the IRS, some division, that said premium pay is permissible. It's buried on like page 115 to 190, but it certainly, under the guidance that was issued, allows premium pay. Yes. I'll look to it. Now,
What
that's
about-
guidance? That, I mean, who knows, they may try to come back and change it. I don't think they've had time to promulgate any official legislation on it, but yeah, the guidance was it is permissible.
What about our auditor, Rhonda?
Right.
Like, how's this ever, you've never experienced this before, so a change of opinion may come up between now and the time we get audited? And then how we ever gonna get 400 and, what'd you say, 400?
What Rich Ornstein just said is that if the county were to do the premium pay based on the date when that occurred, if down the road, the U.S. Treasury changes the final regulations and says that the premium pay is not legal, not valid, that we would be audited under the rule that was in place at the time that we did it. So right now, the premium pay is considered legal to do. According to the U.S. Treasury, the US
Okay, is
Treasury-
Rich Ornstein, will he go to bat for us when we have this audit?
I believe you would.
That's what he gets paid.
And that's,
We
that was
employ
his-
him.
He
that was
worked
his
for us.
He works for
statement,
us.
that we would be audited under the rule in place at the
You're
time
muddying up the waters.
that we gave the money.
It-
And if it changes,
Well, I also talked to Rich, he said proceed with caution.
correct.
Well, that's attorney for it.
Correct.
Excuse my language.
I mean,
Excuse my language, I'm sorry. I forgot you were in the room. Okay, here's some of the guidance, and I know
why
it.
didn't you send us that so we
You've
could
got
get
it
educated
somewhere
on it?
online.
I've never received that.
It's in our back county line. That's
Yeah, it's on the
line.
county line.
Yeah.
It's on, you get that same thing I do from Keiko, and you get so many of them. It's Jennifer Burnett and Shelley Hampton, they send this stuff out all the time. It says, the bill outlines the funds may be used to respond to workers performing essential work during the COVID-19 public health emergency by providing premium pay to eligible employees, so forth and so on. We're mudding up the water, yes or no. That's what. Now, if you don't like it, that's one thing. But to look for a legal excuse to wiggle out of a vote is not good.
I'm not looking for a
Well, we
legal
just want,
excuse to wiggle out.
we want to do it
anything.
legally, of course. We need to know the legal aspects of the law, and that's what, Matthew has read it and said, it's good.
I'm not worried about the legality.
I understand. Any other discussion?
What, you know, this essential worker bonus from the state, they said it'd be announced in 7 to 10 days. Do we double up on it, give them this and then give them that?
That's what I asked.
Let me just say this, I figured it up for what they're proposing, $400 million. If you had 800,000 people in the Commonwealth that gets a check, that $500 would be the maximum they can get. And if you can break that down even further, if it goes to $1 million and so forth. So I think it's more of a token of appreciation, I guess, for lack of a better term. As far as the state money, I think it'll be so incidental when you spread it out to the grocery store workers and the drugstore workers and everybody that did that. I don't know how they're going to do it. If you'll read what the governor sent out last night, it's they're going to form a team and see how they can come up with the best way to spend it.
Well, you with your $500, I proposed to you what? One time I came to you with $250, one time I came to you with $400,
Yeah.
$1 an hour. You never really gave me a response back, whether you thought it was fair or not fair. And then all of a sudden we get this, you want to give $2,000 to each worker. Is that correct?
It depends on if you were part-time, you don't get it. You get your hours that you work.
How many employees are that are going to be?
160,
60, hang on, 165.
yeah, 165. The average worker is going to be about $1,800 and some odd dollars on the base pay.
So you're adding
I'm dividing, I'm putting the part-time in with the full-time.
25% for benefits and.
We got the exact number. It's actually 30. It's actually, of that base, it's actually a third, 33%.
34%?
Yeah. 406 is the total, including the benefit.
Gotta pay $100 to give 75.
It's part of life.
Is that a wise decision though?
I mean, that's, well, why would we pay them anyway? Yeah, I mean, you use that scenario though. No disrespect intended there.
Well, how can you disrespect me? So I was trying to weasel
Because
out.
we disrespect each other, just disrespectfully.
Can you put that on black and white?
I don't think I can repeat it the second time, Keith. I will make a motion to approve the ordinance on first reading and advertise for a second, as presented.
I second. You'll make the motion.
Yes, that's how strong I believe in this. Bernard Lice, second. Any further discussion? Good discussion, by the way. All approved, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Disapprove? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you all. I understand.